All right. Good evening and welcome to the Power Six um, powerful call that we have every single Wednesday night. It's a mentorship call. It's a leadership call. It's designed to help all of us stay on track and just reach the highest levels that we can. But this is to encourage all of us, you guys. And so we have a very special topic we're going to be talking about tonight. Last week we talked about the power of focus. Everything that we talk about has to do with how strong or how powerful that aspect contributes to us being successful. So in the power of focus, one of the things we said was, you know, designate a certain amount of time in your schedule to commit to your business that lets you know that you're intentional. So thank you for being intentional and getting on tonight. I want to encourage you to take notes because some things are going to be said tonight that you don't want to forget. So let me go ahead and get started with my PowerPoint. For those of you who have not met, my name is Verdita Monk. I'm a Senior Presidential Director out of the Atlanta, Georgia area, and just very, very excited to be with you all. Let me find my first slide here. So tonight, you guys, we're going to talk about the 4 C's to building a successful business. Now, if you've been in network marketing before, you've heard of these terms before: coachability, consistency, communication, and commitment. I want to first talk about coachability. You see, in this business, if you find a mentor, someone that you can trust, someone that you feel like they know what they're doing, they know what's going on in the business, they're plugged in, you feel very comfortable following their lead. Many times this is just my experience. We've had situations on the team where a person's sponsor is just not plugged in. And so you may not feel, okay, your sponsor is the one that you should follow the lead on, but your sponsor has a sponsor. And that's why we always say, when you get someone enrolled, make sure you enroll them to your sponsor or your upline, specifically someone who can train them in case you're not available, but you want them to have another person that they know in case you're not doing what you're supposed to do. But coachability goes a little bit further. When we have a system in place, and the thing about when you've got a lot of people, hundreds and thousands of people, the operation works a little smoother when you are coachable. You know how in the Air Force or Army, everybody's doing the same thing. I mean, you may find a few people that are astray, but there's no if, ands, or buts about it. You have to follow the system because it makes it more uniform. Now, I'm not saying we're robots or servicemen or anything like that, but that's why you hear this all the time. Follow the system. And if you're coachable, you will do what the system says. Why? Because the people who designed the system are, have years and years and years of experience. Now, I have years and years of experience. I'm not here to say that I know everything, but I do try to follow the system. Every company has its own system. And you can't just say, okay, well, I was in this company and they did this. This is LifeWave. And if you're not doing what LifeWave system is, then you're going to be out of line. Another thing about coachability, I hear people say sometimes, don't call my people. I literally had a person that used those exact words: do not call my people. Not only did they say it to me, they said it to their sponsor. And I don't know why they say that, but they really are not the person who needs to be training their people. And else their sponsor wouldn't have to reach out to them. But yet that same person's sponsor would tell me in a minute, feel free to call anybody on my team because this person is extremely busy. And she's one of the most committed people that I know on this team. But she'll tell her team, listen, be prepared. Verdita may call you and I need you to answer because she knows what's going on and I don't mind her talking to you. Because see, that's the level of trust I'm talking about. Having trust that your leader is following the system or knows what they're doing. So be coachable. Don't think you've got to do it your way. Do it the way that all of us are supposed to do it, okay? The next subject I want to talk about is consistency. Now, you already know what consistency means, just, not quitting, not like if you're plugged into the calls, we have calls every night of the week. No one expects you to be on every single call, even though there are some people that are on this phone right now. I see them on every single call. I mean, I'm telling you, there's some people, I can name one right now, James Thompson. Every time, I don't care if I get on 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, Friday, Saturday, he and his wife are on the call. They're so consistent. But I'm also talking about not just being consistent with getting on calls and plugging in. I'm talking about being consistent with exposing the opportunity, sharing patches, consistent with enrolling people, and just being consistent with talking to your team. It's just being consistent about everything. See, once you get cold in network marketing, there's something called a black hole. And so, for example, when you enroll someone and you don't follow up with that, let's say you've exposed someone to the opportunity, you've given them some patches, and you don't follow up in 2 or 3 days, maybe even a week. That's what we call a black hole, because if you don't follow up with that person within 72 hours, they fall in this black hole where they've forgotten about everything. You got to catch that person while you're excited. Well, that also applies to us. We go into a black hole if we don't stay plugged in. That's why it's very important to be consistent. So consistency is very important. So what I want to do right now, I want to introduce you to someone on our team who is very consistent. Let me just tell you something about this lady. This lady works more hours than anybody I know in my whole life. in my whole world, I don't know anybody who works as many hours as her. But yet, she makes no excuses. She does 3 ways. I mean, she has her stuff so structured, she has to, because she's so busy. But she doesn't make excuses, and she's very consistent. She's a team player. She's always sharing information with everybody. But consistency is what I think about when I think of this lady I'm about to introduce to you out of Atlanta, Georgia, Miss Linda Giles. Linda, are you there? Linda, can you?
I'm here, Bridita.
Yeah, mute yourself and share your camera.
Okay,
I saw you a minute ago.
I know this camera gives me heartache every time, and let me just try it one more time. But I can start talking while I'm working on this.
Oh my God, Linda, she says such a pretty face. I want y'all to see her. Okay. All right, I'll stop my camera, and hopefully you can
Hang on a second. I'm going to try one more time. I just turned it on, so I don't know what's going on with this thing. But but I can go ahead and start talking. So if you wanted to ask me some question or
well, share with the team you know, some of the things you do, because like I said, first of all, I would like for them to know that when I say you work more hours than anybody that I know, share them what you do with regarding your job as far as your schedule. And then like you do little things to take advantage of any free time you have. But yet I know that you do a lot of 3 ways, you do a lot of launch calls, all that kind of stuff. Can you share kind of what you do to be consistent?
yes. Well, thank you, Verdita. And I'm going to still be working on this camera while I'm talking. Thanks for the opportunity to share. One of the things that is so important to me is being committed. You know, my mom told me, my parents both, if you're not going to do it 100%, don't do it at all. And so for me, that means more than 100%. That means if I'm committed, I need to show up. I need to do what is required. I do it on my job. At 4:30 in the morning. Trust me, I do not want to roll out of that bed, but I know I have to go to work. I know that I want to beat the traffic. I know what I need to do. So I am going to, do it. And so I take that same thing to my business. I mean, if the job, something that I don't own, and something that they can decide whether I have it or not, is, you know, what happens there. I I know that I can do it and commit to my business, something that I have control over, and so I can't make excuses. Additionally, for people who partner with this team, and I don't care where they are, even I don't, they don't have to be directly sponsored by me, but if they partner with this team and they make a commitment, I'm committed to them. And whatever it is that they need, if they need me to do through, and they know how to text me, hey, can you do a call at this time? And I make scheduled time for that because it's very important that they are successful in this business. One of my mentors a long time ago said, if you help enough people get what they want, you're automatically going to get what you want. And that means customers as well as brand partners. Um, Another thing, I have a lot of people say to me, um, I've gone through my warm market. I don't have anybody else to talk to. Well, I went to a doctor's appointment today, and the nurse was just running, doing everything. And the doctor asked me, while she was examining me, what do I do? And I told her, well, as soon as that doctor left, that nurse came in there and said, hey, I heard you say something about patents and trademarks. So can you help me do a copyright? Do you know anything about that? And I'm trying to write a book. And I said, sure. And she said, because I'm trying to get out of this job. I've been here for 19 years. So many people have left, and I'm just looking for a way to make some extra money. And I said, listen, I'll help you with your copyright, but I have another way that can help you. And I said, so let's talk. I gave her my number. We both put numbers in the phone. Man, she called me at 5 o'clock as soon as she got off. I was still working. So I told her I needed to call her back. And she called, I mean, she was waiting. She looked at the video right away. She was on the call tonight. I mean, eh, there's always a warm market. A warm market is what you make it. And see, for me, if I am going to um tell other people this is what you need to do, I need to lead by example. And like Verdita says, we're all here working together. I don't look at, if saying, don't talk to my people or whatever. We're all on the same team. And if somebody else can reach out and help somebody or put a word in someone that's going to help them to be excited about this. That's what we're here to do, and it doesn't matter who it is. My job is busy, yes, but as I reminded someone at work today, it is a job. I don't own it. This is a at will state. If they want to let us go, they're going to let us go. So I need to put my energy in my plan A, which is this business. But more than that, I'm so passionate about this business because of what it's doing for people that I love and care about. The testimonies that I get from family members, and it just it drives me every day to not only be focused on who I need to talk to, and I don't meet a stranger. There was a lady cleaning cleaning the floor in our building after COVID. They have them cleaning all day, and I told her one day, "You do such a great job." She couldn't speak English, so she had to let her phone translate. And I just said, "You do such a great job." Well, the next day, I found out her name was Clemencia. The next day, every time she see me, she's just, happy. She takes out her phone so I could talk into her phone and it'll translate it for her. Well, the next day, about third day, I saw a burn on her arm. I said, "What happened?" And she told me. I said, "I have something that can help you." I went to my office, put, 4 patches in an envelope, put one on her right then, told her how to use the others because I had to talk on the phone because she couldn't understand English. And do you know, 2 days later, she came in with the silver package. And in talking to her as we're getting all the information together, I found out she sold real estate for 20 years. And see, you just never know who you're talking to. And so I don't prejudge anyone. I don't prejudge a situation. I know within my heart that everybody deserves to feel what I feel with this technology. Everybody deserves to have an opportunity to help as many people as they want, and everybody deserves to make as much money as they want with this opportunity. So, yes, I am driven, but and we have an incredible leader. She leads by example. She talks about me being busy. This lady, every time I turn around, she's doing something here. And I actually went on an assignment with Verdita one time. She had to do some curtains, and we were at this place, and she's writing down all these numbers and doing these measurements. And I'm looking at her like, wow, she is amazing. So she leads by example. I'm just excited to be a part of the team. And I just love the people who I'm partnered with, the people who I get to work with and talk with every day. I am just excited. And it is my responsibility to help as many people as possible. And as I told Verdita from the beginning, I wasn't going to do this. I just wanted to try it, and I was probably going to buy the product. But I woke up and said it would be a sin for me not to share this with everyone I know. And that is my mission, and that's what I'm going to do.
Wow, Linda, don't go, because I got a couple questions to ask you. First of all, because I know these people are wondering why I say you work morning. What is your schedule like every day, like for work, and what time you get up and all that kind of stuff?
Well, my alarm goes off at 4:30 in the morning. I get up, I try and get out of the house by 5:45, go down to AT&T. I deal with trademarks and patents. I'm in the intellectual property on the intellectual property team. So I do a lot of research and writing opinion about the different um naming sequences that our clients, who are AT&T executives and what have you, went during naming processes. So I deal in that whole side, and I usually try and leave work about 3, just to come home, put my computer on, and continue working, because we have so many rush jobs and names coming through, and everybody wants it yesterday. And then right in the middle of all of this, and I manage a portfolio of about 4,000 different marks in different countries. And the other day or last week, I got a strike assignment to be some type of optic engineer, um, fixing pots, lines, and all of that. So I got 49 classes that I have to have done by July, and all of them have a test, and all of them are technical and stuff that I don't even know anything about. And I'm supposed to be assigned to some position in Mississippi if a strike happens. So,
Wow.
needless to say, it gets really crazy. And then I'm a grandmother. I have 2 grandbabies, and usually sometimes they come over on the weekend, and ain't nothing getting done when they're here, just running around
Yeah.
chasing them, keeping them out of trouble. So it's a very busy life, and I'm married. So hey,
Yeah.
and
But I just wanted everybody to get an idea. She just gave you an example of something that's happening to her right now. But that kind of description that Linda gave about all these projects, that's her life all the time, every morning. I mean, she doesn't miss a beat though. She doesn't make excuses, and she's really being humble about it. But this lady is so extremely busy. But thank you so much for enlightening us, Linda. And I hope you all are enjoying this call. See, I love to have other team members so that you can see that what kind of people are doing this business and what are they going through. So thank you so much, Linda, for
thank
that.
you.
And I'm gonna get back to my, okay. The next thing that we want to talk about is communication. Now, communication, I would consider this probably one of the most significant components to assist you in being successful in your business. Because think about this. Some of the things that Linda talked about and me knowing her, I wouldn't even know this type of stuff about her if I wasn't talking to her. You can't go in your back office and look at that kind of stuff. You got to have conversations. There are people that call me all the time. They may not even be direct to me, but they know that I'm interested in what's going on in their life. Communication is where you find out what is that person's goal. I might know, I can tell you right now, several people what day they're hitting a certain rank. I was speaking to someone yesterday and they said July the 16th, and I believe that person. When they say July the 16th, guess what happens July the 19th? We go to Orlando, Florida. This person is planning on being president or director by July the 16th, and they mean it. You see what I'm saying? But that doesn't, I mean, you don't find out these things if you're not communicating with people. Communication can also be another thing about communication. You do have to watch your tone when you talk to people. When someone calls you, act like you really want to talk to them. Don't have a tone of indifference, like they're bothering you, or you're just not even interested in them at all. Okay. But that also goes into this aspect, communication. Don't call someone at 10 and 10:30 at night, y'all. Not saying that they're not up, but it is a matter of respect. See, all of this goes under communication. And especially if people marry, you don't know what they may be doing. Don't be calling somebody at 10 and 10:30 at night unless you text them first and say, this is important. Can you talk? Okay, that's something there. I got a couple of notes down. Yeah, but just be passionate. Be passionate when you're communicating with people, because it is contagious. Linda gave an example of two examples of how she opened up about the business. It's a way to share the business with people without throwing up on them, like giving them so much information that you turn them off. And not only that's another way we put it is that they feel like they know everything about the business if you told them everything. So what purpose is it for them to get on a website? What purpose is it for them to get on a call when you told them everything they need to know? So, or at least they think they everything they need to know. Okay. So I think that's the other thing is about communication. Like I said, you have to demonstrate. If you demonstrate leadership, people are going to want to communicate. They're going to be calling you, and that's just part of it. It is just part of the what we have to do. And I'm going to move forward because I got some big surprise. I feel it's a big surprise at the end of this call. So I better stop talking and get to our next person that I would like to bring up. And this person is a leader. She just hit the senior director level, and she's out of the Los Angeles, specifically Inglewood, California area. I got a chance to work with her recently when we took a tour to that area, and she is a powerhouse. And I've learned some things just by listening to her. But she demonstrates commitment like nobody I know. And I'm just going to let her say whatever she wants to say about commitment. Senior Director Renee Wade, you got the floor.
Everybody, thank you, Verdita, and thank you for including us on this call. So first, I want to say, I think commitment really has embodied the first three C's. Coachability, I think you have to be coachable no matter how much you think you know. It's just everybody, to be a leader, you have to be coachable, and you don't just learn from the up. You learn from everybody. You learn from your upline, your downline. Consistency. This was something that, I'll be honest, that was my personal struggle. And kind of once I got this under control, like, things changed for us. Communication. It's all part of the commitment, right? Like Verdita said, being careful how your tone is, and pardon my tone because I lost my voice a couple of days ago. But when we talk about commitment, right? What does that really mean in this business? And for me, it took a little while to get there, to really identify. But once we did, it changed our business, mine and my husband's. Once we figured out what commitment was, and we've had some great examples of commitment in this business. All of our leaders on our direct upline are committed. And I want to, and this isn't just because you invited me to the call, Verdita, but I mean, I want to give an example of commitment that really, 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 really inspired us. You know, Verdita's, we're all on the same team, but Verdita's not directly in our upline, and it's just coming at like she reached out and said, hey, you know, bring your team, participate, this and that. And that really just spoke volumes to me, right? Because it's, you know, she mentioned in the beginning of the call that, you know, she actually has me say, don't call my people. No, please call my people. If you have something to tell them that's inspiring, please pick up the phone, call them, email, text them. If you have their number, please feel free, right? So it's about the commitment to what your vision is for yourself, what you want in your life with this. And that really, really changed for us a couple of weekends ago, because when you get that buy-in to yourself and to what you can do, it's absolutely life-changing for you in this business. I'm not afraid to tell people before LifeWave, network marketing, not my thing. In fact, I even say, oh God, I loathed it, right? My husband's always been involved in network marketing to some extent. But for me, you know, this was just something that became about helping people. For me, it's like Linda said, it's like you have this responsibility, right? So, you know, that's my motivation, that's my commitment. Um, and I'll share with you what happened. Verdita thought I was joking when I told her the weekend she was here. Don't worry, Verdita, we'll be senior directors by next week, right? And I was committed to that. And I told Steve and Gina that because we saw them in Glendale. And I talked so much smack to two sets of senior directors, right? And I thought, oh gosh, we have to do this, right? But, you know, we really got out there, and it was really going back to these foundational things of communications and consistency, going back to the people we had just talked to, right? And communicating and talking to them and showing a little excitement, because if you guys don't know, like attending a live event, it's a whole, I mean, the Zooms are wonderful, but the vibes in a live event. I mean, you just feel the energy. It's so much different. And if you can expose your team to that, um, it builds commitment and drive within your nucleus, right? And you know, your nucleus is obviously yourself, your downline, but it's also, you know, your upline and their upline and then the company, right? And if we're all kind of focused on our little nucleus, right, then we're all helping the company. So we were really excited, both me and our manager, Robert, who ranked up to director in the process. Um, and coming out of 2 weekends ago, I think it was 2 weekends ago, um, you know, we'd had a great meeting in Inglewood, another great meeting in Glendale the next day. And so it just went back to just sharing that excitement and being consistent with it and being committed to doing what I said I was going to do. And that was, um, you know, being coachable, listening to the leaders, listening not only to the leaders above me, but listening to what the people were saying in my downline. And, you know, being coachable is really a big part of the commitment. And then another thing that's already been touched on, but I want to reemphasize, is a lot of people will say, why do I have to be on the Zoom like every night? You don't have to be on every night, but you want to be on enough. I mean, there's lots of reasons to be committed to the Zooms. One, you might hear something that's inspiring that you haven't heard. You might learn something. You know, usually there's a different person teaching every couple of days. So you get a different perspective on things, right? Um, you hear a testimony that moves you or inspires you, or oh my gosh, you didn't know that that was possible with this patch, and then coincidentally, I mean, the universe, God, whatever you believe in, right, doesn't put you in front of these things incidentally. You know, you heard that testimony because maybe you're going to hear somebody with the same problem, and you have the opportunity to help them. And then also as a leader, you know, um, I feel that, you know, I mean, I do my own Zooms, my own presentations. We're getting ready to have a launch. I have a lot of PBRs, etc. You know, but I'm on the Zooms because I never know what I'm going to hear. But two, I also want to set the example for my team, right? To be committed, to be there, to be engaged and stay connected with everybody. Um, and I think one of the biggest things that I can tell you about commitment is if you want to be a senior presidential director, right? That's your forest, right? That's your big goal. And I think I mean, everybody wants to be senior presidential director, but if you start, right, I mean, be committed to first becoming binary established, then a manager, right? You can do that in a week if you have 4 friends, right? And then be committed to a director, and then be committed to helping those people make managers so they can become directors. And then once you do that, you get to senior director, and it's just about repeating, like Harvey says, right? This is an adult game of follow the leader. So just be committed. And the one thing that I want to tell you is, I had a lot of experience in business when I got introduced to LifeWave. I'll be a lawyer in a couple of years. I've got a very diverse background, and I know a lot of things, but before, you may have the best ideas in the world, but first commit to the system we have and learn it. Yes, maybe you have a way to tweak it that makes it yours and you can improve on it, but first learn how we do it and then figure out if really that idea was so brilliant or not to tweak it. So, this is the opportunity of a lifetime. You're here. I mean, Verdita, I think the song is like that you opened with was perfect. And just be committed to yourself, your family, your team, your downline, and your uplines. And if you're committed to those, then you're committed to the company. Go to the conventions, guys. They're important. The connections you make there are life-changing. So with that said, Verdita, thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk. And as always, your leadership and always be willing to help literally anybody who calls your phone.
Oh, wow, Renee, I tell you, you are just incredible. Thank you so much for those words of wisdom. I hope you all are enjoying this. Hope you all are enjoying this. And, what we do every week, I try to engage in, different people on the team because I feel like we can learn from each other. We can learn from anyone. So I tell you guys, it's going to get excited. Y'all know something about me. Y'all know I'm a detail person. I'm a numbers person. I'm not going to make it too deep, okay? But I want to kind of share and see. Yeah. Now, this is what, Renee said something a second ago. She said something about just get binary qualified. Okay. I'll stop this video so get out of my way. See if I can get this out of my way. Yeah, no. Now, get binary qualified, you guys. Now, listen, do you realize, let me blow your mind really quick. Do you know, look at this chart right here. What this demonstrates is this, that you get 2 people enrolled in your first month. Do you realize, look at this chart. This is your first month. You enroll 2 people, you're binary qualified, right? So now you have 2 partners that are in your organization. There may be some more people that fall below you, but I'm talking about your organization. Guess what happens next month? We want to make sure those 2 people get binary qualified. Now, we're just only talking about getting binary qualified right now, because everybody can enroll more than 2. But look what happens. Those 4 came in the next month and you already had 2. So now your team is 6. Look what happens the 3rd month. Those 4 double to 8. It keeps going now. 8 becomes 16 in the 4th month. 16 becomes 32 in the 5th month. 32 becomes 64. It keeps doubling. Do you realize in a year, now you only enrolled 2 in this scenario, but if everybody just got binary qualified, you would have, so you're adding this number over here to the previous number, right? You got over 8,190 people on your team. That's a law of multiplication or something. Can you believe this? This is easy. Look at this. 128 becomes 256, 256 becomes 512. Do you see how simple this is? But for some reason, I don't know. I mean, you got to be committed to getting binary qualified. Now watch this. That's a total of 8,190 partners. I hope y'all are taking notes. So, and I'm just going to, you have to take your calculator out. So you see where I'm getting this. I want y'all to understand where these numbers come from. If you got 8,190 people on your team after a year, right? Remember, the power of 6, we teach everybody to get 2 sleeves of X39. Yes, you could get a X39 in an LifeWave, but yeah, how you gonna patch, people when all you have is an LifeWave? I mean, you need X39 to patch people, and you need X39 for yourself. So that's 2 right there, right? So let's just commit to that. Let's just be coachable. Let's just be consistent. Everybody do the same thing like in an army, right? Look what's going to happen in your organization. You multiply 8,190 by 154 points. That's how many points are in 2 sleeves. That generates 1 to 1.2 million points per month. After that 12 months is up, every month, if every single person did that, now we know this is not a perfect world, but just go with me. And that's going to generate 1,200. Now, remember, this is a binary, so let's just assume half of them fall on the left, half of them fell on the right. Divide that by 2, you had this number right here, 630, 630,000 points on each side. Let's just be generous and say that, be conservative and say that you have to take 600 and divide that by 660. Remember, to generate a binary commission, you need 660 points on one side and 330 on another. So let's just be conservative. Divide that number by 660. You will get 955 cycles, right? But how much do you make on each cycle? You make $50. So that's generating you $47,750 per month, or $11,937 per week. Can you imagine that? Now, listen to this. Go to the next slide. What does it take to, what do you have to do to qualify to make $11,000 per week? You have to be a presidential director. But guess what? Here's the good news. All you have to do is get to senior director. See, when you get to senior director, you guys, the sky's the limit. That's all you have to get. The structure to get to senior president director. That's the structure right there. You don't have to worry about, do I have a manager? Do we have a manager under this person? No. You already senior director. All you got to now do is the volume. So in this scenario, you have exceeded the volume SPD. Remember back here? Okay, go back. You've exceeded, whatever I said, 1.2 million. You only need 200,000 points per month to be an SPD, you guys. You've exceeded. See, we're talking about overflow. See, the only way you're going to get to overflow is you got to get your head right. We talk about mindset all the time. So listen, you guys, do you realize that the new retirement plan is entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship is the new retirement plan. Why? Because, like, for example, I know my sister's on the phone. My sister worked 30 years with the federal government. She was an aerospace engineer. She made over 6 figures the whole time. Plus she invested, all this kind of stuff. I'm just going by what she told me, that it's not enough money. She can pay her bills, but some of the things she wants to do. That's just an example, because most people are not 6-figure incomes. So guess what? The kind of things that she says she wants to do, she needs this business. And I mean, and it's going very well for her. So, but not only that, here's the thing about entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurs have the mindset of finding ways to save money on their income taxes, right? See, because you make all this money, but you can't write all this stuff off if you're just an employee. You cannot write off your cell phone bill if you work for AT&T. Well, you might be able to write off, or you probably get it free if you work. But let's just say you work for the post office. You can't write your cell phone off. You can't write your gas mileage off. You can't write off the square footage of a percentage of your home. You can't write your new computer like I got here. You can't write that off because you're not an entrepreneur. See, you have to be smart. You got to be smart. You got to have the right mindset. Seems like I had something. Yeah. Do y'all realize it is tax time, you guys? So let me share with this in case you don't know it. Go to your bank. This is where you're going to find your 1099 form. If you made money last year and you want to be able to justify writing off stuff on your taxes, go to your back office and click on commissions and then click on pay portal. You can take a screenshot of this, click on pay portal, and then you're going to see the link to click and log into your pay portal. When you log into your pay portal, click on my account, and then you just go to the bottom of the page and you're going to see the commission report, which reflects the earnings that you made in last year. So then take advantage of all the expenses to be written off. We kind of went over this. I don't even know where the PowerPoint is right now. I don't have it right now. But take advantage, there's a lot of stuff. Do you realize the enrollment fee that you paid to get into the business, the package you bought? Don't forget to write that off. Don't forget to write off the monthly fee, that the authorship that you're you know that you're covering everyone. Don't forget that. Everything you don't forget when you get on to go to the This Is It convention that you get to write that off. Don't forget to write the room off too. You see what I'm saying? Don't forget, like when you go and get your hair done by a celebrity stylist like Jeffrey Payton, and I have to look nice for to be presentable on my Zooms. Don't forget to write that off. So you guys, I'm acting up now, but I just want y'all to know that once again, listen, we're in this thing together. We're having fun. Does anybody, we still got 15 minutes left. Not so much that we're trying to stay on for 15 more minutes, but I'm just saying I never like to go over an hour. So does anybody else want to say anything? You don't have to be a leader. You can contribute to this call because we're here to share, or if anybody has a question before we end the call. All right, everybody gets so quiet.
Verdita,
Hey, Patrick.
how are you? Very
I'm
good.
wonderful. Thank you.
Was just awesome, awesome. What's coming over tonight is just incredible. And the two guests that you have, both Linda and her name is Renee,
Yes.
they were wonderful. Some really heavy nuggets dropped tonight. I loved it.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you, Patrick. I know that I feel the same way. They did an incredible job. But thank you so much, Patrick. This is another person that's very consistent in the Atlanta, Georgia area. Anybody else have a comment, question, or some input on any of the subjects that we talked about? We are here to learn, remember.
Hey, Verdita, this is Tina Fair.
Hey, Tina.
Hey there. I love that you do these trainings. Thank you so much for just dropping all this wisdom and training into our lives, bringing us all together, and giving us another reason to see your beautiful face.
Well, thank you so much, Tina. And I tell you, we appreciate your leadership as well. We're going to have to get you on here one of these days to share some information as well. And by the way, Tina Fair is Renee and Tony Waite's sponsor, if I got that part correct, right?
That's correct. Alfonso, my husband Alfonso, actually signed them up. He and Tony Waite are good friends for many, many years, and they were both doing another multi-level marketing business in which they were very successful at some years ago.
Awesome.
I just wanted to say
All
to
right,
everyone,
I'm telling y'all, we got some talent on this call, and that's what I'm telling you. That's why I'm opening it up. If anybody has anything they want to inspire us with, feel free to do that. So thank you so much for your input and your comment, Tina, and we'll talk to you soon.
oh wait, I just want to say one thing.
Oh, go ahead.
But also I wanted to say to make sure that we are encouraging our team, spending time with them, and letting them know all of the amazing resources and tools that we have available to us, all of the resources in our back office. I still use Build 331 and the steps there. Everyone, if you go to www.build331.com, there is a wealth of information on the business, the marketing plan, there's scripts, there's even a pitch deck if you wanted to send that out to folks. And also, there's another website that is www.com, LifeWave Resource Library. www.lifewaveresourcelibrary.com, which is another wealth of information. And we should just be mindful not to underestimate the amount of time that you should spend learning your craft and learning your business each day. And this is a game of follow the leader, but you also want to be aware that we have a wealth of resources that we can lean on, in addition to these Zoom calls and the X39 launches, that we have these amazing group of people do all the talking for us, right? So this business is so turnkey, and we have a roadmap for success, and we should just lean on our marketing tools.
Absolutely. You know, we talked last week. Thank you so much, Tina, for that. Last week, we talked about the power of focus. And one of the things we said about focus and what should you be focusing on? You know, because so many of us are busy people that we think, okay, I'm overwhelmed. I can't do that because I'm just too busy. But we said allow a certain amount of time per day or per week or whatever makes you comfortable. But when you designate that amount of time, do something constructive, like, studying materials like you just talked about, LifeWave Just because it inspires you, and you're going to learn something, and you're going to be able to help somebody else. But yes, take advantage of the resources that we have. I see that so Derek, I thought I saw Derek Hawkins raise his hand. Derek, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. How you doing? Yeah, I just
Great.
wanted to, let me change. I got the wrong
Yeah,
screen.
change that picture now,
Change that
because
video. Got too many
you
cameras
look like a
connected.
spaceman on my end.
How's that? Well, as I get my camera ready, I just wanted to share a quick story. And my basically what I'm gonna say is that don't despise small beginnings. And I'm just gonna read a text. I've been going back and forth to the hospital. I have a brother-in-law that's been in the hospital in ICU. So 3 to 4 times a week, we're up there, we're visiting the hospital. And I met a guy, he was working in the hospital. He's the maintenance guy there. He's selling pies. So we talk all the time. So we got to talking about something. He mentioned some pain. So I gave him a sample. I gave him a sample of 3 patches. And then when I came back a few days later, he said, "Hey man, you got any more of those samples?" I said, "Well, I usually give out samples the first time around, but after that, you can buy them, And I gave him, if you buy in retail, it's 150 for a sleeve, or $5 a patch. Or if you just buy a few, if you become a member, maybe it's $3 a patch." So he bought a few, and then every once in a while I would go back and see him, and he would ask me about the patches, and he seemed interested. And then yesterday I got a text from him. He was on vacation. I'm just going to read the text to you, and then tell you what happened afterwards. He said, "I need some more patches, brother. When you get a chance, although I am on vacation, maybe I can meet you somewhere perhaps." I said, "Well, how many patches you looking to purchase?" Because he usually gets a handful. He said 8. I said, "Okay." Then he sends me a text. "I'm in Springfield, New Jersey, heading towards near the hospital, and meet me there in 20 minutes. So he want me to meet him. I'm on a call. I said, "Well, I can't meet you right now. I'm on a Zoom call, but maybe we can meet later after tomorrow." So then he says, "Please send me the link for ordering." So he went to order by 6 in the morning. He had problems because he got to the part where it said auto ship, and he wasn't ready to commit yet. And so he stopped. So he called me, and then he called me again. He wanted to meet me again. So I wound up meeting him in a parking lot at Best Buy, and it felt like a drug deal was going on. So I met him at his car. I helped him set up his account. So he wound up signing up. He only signed up as a bronze, but he had his wife in the car. We started talking, and now she's excited. And again, it started as just me giving out a few samples to somebody in a hospital who didn't really seem interested in the business at all. And now he's excited, and he's ready to get started. And again, so I just wanted to say, don't, small beginnings could become big, and you never know what they're going to lead to. So just stay committed, like you said, and continue to talk to people. But you need to have patches. So make sure you have your auto ship and at least those 2 sleeves a month. You're going to need them.
That's right. You're gonna need them. Thank you, Derek, for sharing that. I'm telling you, you're gonna need them. The people that I know that are busy patching people and approaching people and piquing their interest, they need 2 sleeves a month. I don't even see how somebody could get out. I mean, I don't see how they do it without 2 sleeves. I see a gentleman named Chris who's unmuted. And Chris, were you trying to ask a question or say something?
Not really. I'm kind of enjoying everything. I'm just watching. I had the opportunity to meet you when you was in Inglewood the other day. I'm also from Tony and Renee.
Oh,
And
okay.
I was a gentleman that Tony introduced you to, and I was a little bit skeptical before, but I'm learning as we go along. So I like to hear, sometimes when you listen to people, that's the best way to learn, because
That's right.
you hearing people's story, and you know that this is not your typical seminar where people blow smoke. You know what I mean? You're listening to people, and you hearing people telling you basically what really happened to them and from their real life experience. So I'm just looking forward to, a lot of us, like Tina that just came on, Alfonso. What's up, Alfonso? He just hit me up. I get to know Alfonso because of a great friend of us, me and Tony and Renee and all of us. We go way back. So I'm really looking forward to see what's the magic. I'm into it. Not very many things get my attention, but this kind of have my attention. I got to let you know that. So
Okay, well, thanks for sharing that. Let me just share a couple of things with you, and hopefully somebody else, maybe some other people that are kind of new on the call. Listen, LifeWave a few months ago was acknowledged as the fastest growing network marketing company in the world by a website and a resource called businessforhome.org. Why are we number one? Because we have so much momentum. Why do we have so much momentum? Because our product works. I mean, when I first came on board, I'm asking the question because I'm looking at the comp plan and I'm expecting some, big deal with this comp plan. I've seen a lot of comp plans, and I asked Steve Merritt myself, what is driving the momentum here? He says the product, and he is no lie. This product it's not even just how much money you're making. The product works and people want it. They will chase you down for it. If you're going to do business, you want a business that all you have to do is believe it. You said, what's the magic? What is a secret or something? You said it's you, because it's already the ground is already laid. The secret is you. Do you see
Right.
it? See,
Right.
because I don't know what kind of work you do. You could be a musician. I'm an interior designer. Somebody else's could be a hairstylist. Somebody else could be a doctor. I don't want to be no doctor. You know what I'm saying? When I used to want to be a doctor, I can't stand all that blood and cutting on people. Sir, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's different, but
Right.
that's why I'm saying that's why I said it's not a secret, it's you. And I can tell that just by you talking right now that you have a lot of passion. And all I say is just speak with passion. The way you're going to raise your belief level is continuing to get on calls. Now, most of the calls are not like this. I tell people all the time. I mean, this call is a little different, but it's not a presentation, but it's just a little different. But when you get up and you hear those testimonies, that'll do it for you.
But right, and that's right, and I understand it. And from experience, I mean the product sells, because I'm not a salesman. I could tell you that right now. But the product sells itself. I don't want to be a salesman. I want something that sells itself. I want something that people want to buy. You know what I mean? So I don't want to go after
what you really want to do is help people. Just like I think Linda said it. I think Linda Giles talked about how she ran into somebody who was in pain or burnt themselves or whatever. If you just have a spirit of helping, I promise you, it'll all take care of itself. So thank you for sharing that comment, because I'm sure it inspired someone else. Listen, you guys, we're going to go ahead and end this call. Unless someone else has something quick, I'm not going to keep you all much longer. Did anybody else have a question or comment really quickly before we end the call? Okay. Well, if no one else has a question or comment, we're going to end the call. I've recorded it and I will send the recording out. You all have a very successful week. Y'all, let me make 2 announcements real quick. Let me see if I can find it. Well, go to DigitalAlliance101.com. DigitalAlliance101.com. That's our team site. Okay. And go to upcoming events. April 13th, our leader, our SPD, Ken Robinson, will be in Chicago, Illinois. If you're anywhere near Chicago, within a 2-mile radius, go, because he's going to turn it out. I mean, I know he's got a lot of team members up there, but you got to get there. We're even contemplating going. I'm not sure yet, but go there. And then also we're from Atlanta. I'm almost 100% certain we're going to get a charter bus, and we're going to try to keep the cost of as affordable as we can. But it's a 6.5-hour drive from Atlanta to Orlando. It's going to be fun. We'll stop for lunch, but we'll get there. And, it's just too expensive. The airlines, like from Atlanta, is, believe it or not, in July, because it's Disney World, everybody's going to Disney World in the summer. The flights are ridiculous. Okay. So we already decided we were going to, we're talking about $400 and some from Atlanta, 6-hour flight, 6-hour drive. So we're going to drive, but what's better than driving? Getting on a bus with some like-minded people, having some fun, and that's it. So we'll let you know more details about that, but thank you so much for your time. We'll see y'all at the top. Have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.